The WD Black SN850X, Samsung 990 Pro, Fire CUDA 530, Crucial T500, and Corsair MP600 Pro are the most popular SSDs for PS5 of 2025, but which is the absolute best? We are going to compare them to each other and score them in various categories, with some categories holding more weight than others. In the end, we'll decide which is the best one based on the final score, and we will declare the absolute winner. Let's dive in. First, we are going to compare them on the read-write speed category, which has a multiplier of 2x. Kicking things off, the WD Black SN850X is a very strong contender that delivers sequential read speeds of up to 7,300 megabytes per second, but I found its random write performance can feel a bit weak and inconsistent compared to its raw sequential power for loading massive game worlds. For its solid all-around performance, I'm giving it an 8.8 out of 10. Next up, the Samsung 990 Pro is an absolute speed demon that posts some of the best random write speeds I've ever seen, even beating the Fire CUDA 530, although I was a bit let down that its real-world read speeds were consistently a few hundred megabytes per second shy of the advertised 7,450 megabytes per second. This powerhouse earns a 9.5 out of 10. The Fire CUDA 530 is all about blistering read performance that's fantastic for loading games, peaking at over 5,600 megabytes per second in some throughput tests. But its write throughput didn't quite have the same punch and lagged behind some of the other top-tier drives I've tested. I rate it a 9.0 out of 10. Moving on to the Crucial T500, this is a really interesting drive, offering a great balance between read and write speeds that get close to the premium drives. But when you really push it with intense sustained write tasks, it shows its more budget-friendly nature and can't quite keep pace with the leaders. It gets an 8.2 out of 10. Finally, the Corsair MP600 Pro is a reliable all-rounder that particularly impressed me with its write performance, hitting nearly 6 gigabytes per second in testing. Although its peak read speed in the same test felt a step behind the newer competition, making it feel solid but not a speed champion. This one gets a 7.5 out of 10. With its stellar random write performance and incredible overall speed profile, the Samsung 990 Pro takes the win in this category with a score of 9.5. Next, we are going to compare them on the compatibility with PS5 category, which has a multiplier of 2x. The WD Black SN850X is a solid all-arounder that improves on the thermals of its older brother, making it a much better fit for the tight confines of the PlayStation 5. However, since its main performance gains are in write activity that the console doesn't fully take advantage of, it feels like you're leaving some performance on the table, which is why I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. Moving on, the Samsung 990 Pro is frankly overkill for the PlayStation 5 from a performance standpoint. And while it is blazing fast, the console only recognizes a speed of around 6,568 megabytes per second in its own test, a far cry from the drive's advertised maximums. So you're paying for potential you can't fully tap into, leading me to a 7.8 out of 10. I've had a fantastic experience with the Fire CUDA 530, which not only delivers blistering real-world transfer speeds that can even outpace the internal drive, but is also built for sustained abuse and longevity, giving me total peace of mind when hammering it with downloads and installs for a score of 9.1 out of 10. The Crucial T500 is a drive that meets all of Sony's official requirements, but in my testing, it performed closer to the minimum acceptable speed, with benchmarks sometimes showing just over 5,500 megabytes per second, and it felt a bit sluggish in transfer tests compared to the others here, earning it a 6.5 out of 10. Finally, the Corsair MP600 Pro LPX feels like it was custom-made for the PlayStation 5, as its low-profile heatsink is specifically designed to fit perfectly inside the expansion slot without any fuss, making the installation completely seamless and worry-free, while still delivering great performance, netting it a 9.5 out of 10. With its purpose-built low-profile heatsink and seamless installation, the Corsair MP600 Pro LPX takes the win here with a 9.5 because it simply eliminates any and all guesswork. Next, we are going to compare them on the storage capacity category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The WD Black SN850X stands out by offering an impressive range of sizes, all the way up to 8 terabytes, giving me more than enough room to keep my massive game library installed without ever worrying about deleting anything. Though I found the largest capacities can be tough to track down and come at a premium price. It gets a 9.5 out of 10. The Samsung 990 Pro provides a solid maximum capacity of 4 terabytes, which is still a huge amount of space for most gamers, but it feels a little less future-proof when you know the SN850X offers double that amount if you are willing to pay for it. I give it a 9.0 out of 10. I found the FireCuda 530 also tops out at a very generous 4 terabytes, putting it right in line with the Samsung 990 Pro and offering a fantastic amount of space for dozens of games, though it doesn't quite reach for the top spot since it lacks an even larger option for extreme storage hoarders. It earns an 8.7 out of 10. When I looked at the Crucial T500, I saw that it is limited to a maximum of 2 terabytes, which is a substantial upgrade from the console's base storage, but is only half of what its top competitors provide, forcing you to be more selective with your installed games library much sooner. For this reason, it scores a 7.5 out of 10. Finally, the Corsair MP600 Pro is also capped at a 2 terabyte capacity, which, like the Crucial T500, feels a bit dated when game install sizes are constantly ballooning and other drives are offering so much more space for not much more money. This gets a 7.0 out of 10. With its massive 8 terabyte option, the WD Black SN850X is the clear winner with a score of 9.5 out of 10 because it offers the most storage for gamers who want to download their entire library and forget about it. Next, we are going to compare them on the durability and reliability category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. Starting with the WD Black SN850X, I found it to be a truly dependable drive, backed by a solid 5-year warranty and a typical endurance of 600 terabytes written for every terabyte of capacity. But it does tend to run a bit hotter than its rivals, even with its thermal management features, which gives it an 8.2 out of 10. The Samsung 990 Pro is a beast in performance, but I can't ignore the early firmware issue that caused some users to see rapid health degradation. While Samsung has fixed this, its endurance rating is still lower than what you get from the FireCuda, which is why I'm giving it a 6.9 out of 10. When it comes to pure peace of mind, the FireCuda 530 is in a league of its own, offering an insane endurance of up to 5,100 terabytes written and even including 3 years of data recovery services, a feature the others just don't offer, making it an easy 9.5 out of 10. I was impressed with the Crucial T500 as it delivers respectable endurance at 1,200 terabytes written for the 2 terabyte model and comes with the industry standard 5-year warranty. However, I noticed its performance can dip when its cache is exhausted, which lands it a score of 8.8 out of 10. Finally, the Corsair MP600 Pro is a curious case because while it's built to last and comes with a strong 5-year warranty, its official endurance rating is almost half that of the nearly identical FireCuda 530, which just doesn't add up for me and results in a 7.5 out of 10. With its unmatched endurance rating and the added safety net of data recovery services, the FireCuda 530 takes the win here with 9.5 points, proving it's built to go the distance. Finally, we are going to compare them on the value for money category, which has a multiplier of 3x. The WD Black SN850X is a powerful, high-end drive with excellent performance that makes it a great fit for the PlayStation 5. But it launched with a daunting price tag that, while it has come down, still keeps it on the more expensive side for the performance it offers, giving it a 7.0 out of 10. Coming in with some of the strongest all-around performance we have seen is the Samsung 990 Pro. And while it is an incredibly fast and efficient drive, its manufacturer-suggested retail price is just too high to justify for most gamers when cheaper options exist, which is why it gets a 6.5 out of 10. I found that the FireCuda 530, while no longer the fastest drive on the market, is now much more affordable and routinely receives huge discounts that provide simply incredible value for your console without sacrificing much performance, earning it an 8.8 out of 10. The Crucial T500 is a fantastic mainstream option that provides a great balance of speed and features, but it often carries a bit of a price premium over its competitors and its own predecessors, which holds it back slightly in the value department with a rating of 8.2 out of 10. Finally, the Corsair MP600 Pro is easily one of the best value drives you can buy right now, because its earlier release has made it widely available at a lower price point. And it even includes a high-quality heatsink that other brands would charge extra for, giving it a 9.5 out of 10. With an impressive score of 9.5, the Corsair MP600 Pro takes the win in this category by providing an outstanding price-to-performance ratio and including a heatsink at a cost lower than most of its rivals. The results of our comparison show each product shines in its own way, but the FireCuda 530 stands out with its score of 89.9.
From its outstanding durability to a solid balance of speed and compatibility, it's no wonder this drive won the gold. I've been thoroughly impressed with how it manages heavy workloads without flinching, and the added peace of mind from its data recovery services makes it a standout choice for any PS5 gamer looking for a dependable investment.
As for the other contenders, the Corsair MP600 Pro didn't lag far behind, scoring 84.25 thanks to its user-friendly design and excellent value for money. The WD Black SN850X also showed its strengths, especially in its vast storage options, earning an 82.15. Samsung 990 Pro and Crucial T500 also have their merits, with scores of 77.95 and 78.45 respectively. Each product has its own strengths, and I've seen firsthand how they perform in various scenarios, so no matter which drive you choose, you're getting a top-tier SSD for your PlayStation 5.